go. I seen them come and I seen them go. You know, we here for a long time. You know, I hear folks talking. They say, you know, she crazy. And then I hear them say, there, but for the grace of God, you know, folks ought not to say that. Because, you know, it can happen to any one of us. I used to have a big old pretty house on East Boulevard. But, you know, my husband, he took ill, you know, so I took him to the doctor, you know, the doctor said, he said, Maylene, you know, he really ain't called me Maylene. I said, doctor, you know, you've been knowing me for a long time. And you can call me Maylene. He said, no, you old enough to be my mother, so I'm going to call you Miss Chester. So he said, Miss Chester, you know, your husband, he real sick, you know. So ain't too much we can do for him. So I say, you know, doctor, we've been married for 40 years. I sure would like to have him around a little longer. He said, well, you know, he's real sick. And the only thing we can do is make him comfortable, so we're going to put him in the hospice. So, put him in the hospice, you know, I'll go around there to see him every chance I could. So I come up in there one day, and he's sitting up in the chair looking real good. I said to him, I said, you know, Paul, you looking good sitting up in that chair. He said, you know, Maylene, I feel good. Well, you know, I sure do like to hear that. Well, you know, we talked about it and made our peace with it, and not too long after, you know, Paul took his last breath, you know. So, like I said, we had a big old pretty house on East Boulevard, and when he took ill, you know, we had to take out a loan against the house, and so when he died, you know, I couldn't pay it no more. So, sheriff come and told me, he said, you got to go. So I took everything I had, all the clothes on my back and my box, and I went on out there. Let me tell you about my box. Folks know about my box, you know. They know that's where I keep my important thing and my treasure. So, you know, my husband, he bought me a present one time in that box, you know. He said, you know, Maylene, we've been married for 20 years. I said, yeah, Paul, we've been married for 20 years. He said, you know, and in them 20 years, you done made me a happy man. I said, well, you done made me a happy woman. So he said, got something I want to give you. I said, yeah. So he reached right back there around his back, you know, where he kept his box, and gave me the prettiest box I ever did, see. I told him, I said, you know, Paul, the box was pretty enough. I really don't need what's in it. Well, you know, I opened up that box. And boy, you know, it was the most beautiful scarf I ever did see. I wore that scarf every day. Every day I wore that scarf. Well, you know, when I get out here on the streets, you know, folks don't want you to have nothing. And somebody took that scarf from me, so I ain't got the scarf no more. But I got my box, and that's where I keep my treasure and my important thing, you know, in my box. You know, folks are always trying to get at it, but I keep it here real good. You know, I'm going to tell you, folks sure real surprised, you know. I stand out here every morning by this stove, looking in the window, you know, looking at the paper. That's where they keep the paper in the window, because you walk by, see something you read, you walk on in the store by the paper, you go about your business. Well, you know, I stand here, like I said, every morning, man, you know, he's standing around there at the bus stop waiting on the bus come carry him to work. So I'm standing here one morning looking in the window, you know, and I'm reading the paper, I ain't paying too much attention to him. So next thing I know, I look over, he done come up into the store and picked up the paper and started to read it. I ain't paid him no mind, you know, that's his business. You know, the next thing I know, he done walked out the store with the paper, ain't paid a dime for it. I think that's a shame. Man working every day, bus come carry him to work. You mean to tell me he came for 35 cents still for a piece of paper? That don't make no sense. Well, I ain't said nothing to the man, you know, because I mind my own business. You know, out here on the street, you don't want to be mad at folks' business. So, you know, he going about his business. I just shook my head. Well, you know, like I said, I've been out here for 12 years, and in them 12 years, you know, I seen a lot. I seen them come come and I seen them go. I seen them come and I seen them go. And you know, I seen a little girl what used to live next door to me when I had the big old pearly house on East Boulevard. She was a fast-tailed little old girl. I didn't want to listen to nothing her mama had to say. So mom said to her one day, she said, you know, since you don't want to listen to nothing I got to say, you go on out there in them streets and let them streets raise you. Well, she went on out there, you know. I seen her out here, you know. I threw my hand up at her, tell her hello, you know. And she kept going and so did I. Well, you know, like I said, you know, when you've been out here alone, you see a lot, you know. Sometimes I see my peoples out here on the street, you know, they tell me, they say, you know, Maylene, you need to come on up out them streets. I tell them, no, you know, it ain't so bad out here. You know, we look out for one another. And so, I tell them sometimes, you know, in the wintertime, it do get a little hard out here. You know, it get hard in the wintertime, you know, but we look out for one another. So, you know, I just tell them I just don't want to be a bother to nobody. So I stay on out here. Well, then they go about their business, you know, till the next time I see them. And you know, like I said, you know, I've been out here for a long time and I seen them come and I seen them go. I seen them come and I seen them go. You know, I seen a boy the other day, what used to live on that street I used to live on when I had that big old pretty house, you know. He was a bad little old boy. He used to hit his mama every day, just like that, hit her, just like that. I told her, I said, you know, Miss Shirley, if you don't stop that boy from doing that, when he gets to be a big old boy, he gonna be a holy terror, and ain't nobody gonna want to be bothered with him. And sure enough, he rolled up to be a holy terror, and folks hate to see him coming. But you know, like I said, I seen him out here. He walking down the street, you know, drinking his liquor, ain't got no bag or nothing on it, you know, just drinking it right there in the open, embarrassing his mama and everybody. Well, you know, I seen him, and he seen me, and I look at him, you know, like I know him. He looked at me. And I said to myself, I said, you know, Maylene, I believe that boy trying to get at your box. So I put my hand on my card just like that there. Let him know I know what he was up to. And don't you know, the next thing I know, he put his hand on my card too. And we was a tussling and a tussling and a tussling. And I reached down in my court, you know, where I keep my stick. And I got my stick and I hit him just like that there. And I must have done something because he run the other way. You know, he didn't get my box that day. I sure was glad because y'all know that's where I keep my important thing and my treasure, you know, so I don't want nobody to get at my box. Well, you know, like I say, I've been out here a long time, you know, 12 years is a long time, you know. And I done seen a lot. I seen them come and I seen them go. I seen them come and I seen them go. You know, I seen a little boy, he couldn't be no more 10, 12 years old. I'm down here, you know, I'm taking up something off the ground, looks like it might be worth a little something, so I reached down there, you know, and picked something up. You know, I wasn't too worried, you know, about my card, you know, so I wasn't paying attention because I figured he's a little bitty old boy, what he gonna do to you? So, you know, when I reached up there to put the thing in my card, I turned around and don't you know the boy that reached down in my card and took my box. Oh, Lord, he took my box. Y'all know I didn't want nobody to get at my box, because that's why I keep my important thing and my treasure. Ooh, I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. Oh, Lord, I prayed and I prayed. No sooner I said amen, the boy come running at me so fast, I thought he was going to knock me over. Well, he come running up to me and threw the box at me. Ooh, I ain't never been so happy to get my box back. Y'all know I ain't never been so happy. Well, you know, like I said, I've been out here a long time. I've seen a whole lot. And I know y'all probably wondering, you know, what's in that box since you keep talking about it so much? I'm going to show you what's in my box. Let me find it for you. Because it's a pretty box. And look at that there. Ain't that a pretty box? It's a pretty box. Oh, here, let me tell you now. This here, let me get it there. Yeah, there you go. This here my important thing. It ain't as pretty as the one somebody took from me, but it'll do. Anyway, you know, this my treasure, my teeth. You know, if I lose my teeth, I can't eat. And I sure can't afford to buy another pair. So I keep them in my box. And yeah, y'all like that, don't you? I know you will. Well, you know, let me tell you something, you know. Like I said, you know, we all got a little crazy in us, you know. And that ain't no secret. And since we know that, you know, ain't a thing we can do about it, only thing we got to do in order to accept that crazy, there you go right there. Embrace your crazy, okay? Because I know I have. I'm going to tell you, if you don't embrace it, it sure will embrace you. Well, you know, let me tell you, y'all been a good audience to me. You know, I sure appreciate y'all listening to what I had to say. But I want to get serious for a minute now, you know. You know, this thing with the elderly people living on the streets is a serious thing, you know. There's so many thousands of them living on the streets. And they say if the world keep going the way it is, by the year 2050, that number gonna double. And you know something? It could be one of you. So I want y'all to quit saying and quit thinking there but for the grace of God. Because you know something? God didn't put me on these streets. Circumstances did. And it could happen to any one of us. Just don't let it happen to you, okay? I'm Maylene Chester, and y'all been a great audience. Thank you so much.